And a warm welcome again to the big match. And on the programme today, 3 matches from the First Division. Our main match is the London derby game between Chelsea and Arsenal, and we shall support that with just a couple of glimpses of Newcastle against Carlisle, and then a hefty and an exciting chunk of the high-scoring match between Birmingham City and Derby County. 2 welcome studio guests today from that London game. On the left, Jimmy Rimmer, the Arsenal goalkeeper, and on the right, Charlie Cook of Chelsea. As usual, we shall also be taking a look at your letters. Yesterday, of course, the talk of football was Brian Clough, and a remarkable interview that he gave us in World of Sports on the Ball. And today he's resting at home in Derby, but of course, needless to say, he's in the headlines again. Clough tells it all in the Sunday Mirror, where he says he's finished with football management. And he says, believe me, if contracts dropped into my home from Derby County and the Foreign Legion tomorrow, I'd choose to be a legionnaire. That I'd love to see. Certainly, I think Brian Clough's very disillusioned at the moment, but him giving up football, I believe, is rather like you and I giving up food. And I'm very glad to say that it's our wish and his that he'll still be a regular contributor both to On the Ball and the big match. Let's have some action now then, and for a start, we go down to Stamford Bridge with its wonderful new landmark there, the new stand, set against the old stand in the corner there, the new stand that was opened at the start of this season, which of course was instrumental in providing the afternoon with one amazing statistic, because the crowd at Stamford Bridge was a mere 34,000, but the receipts for the game were over £30,000. And indeed, in that stand where people get a good view of the pitch, some people live in the lap of luxury as well, sitting in their boxes. People paying a lot of money, in fact, to see stars like David Hay, bought by Chelsea from Celtic, and Brian Kidd, who's made such an impact at Highbury since he arrived from Manchester United. Now the teams for today. Chelsea bring John Dempsey back to their defence at number 5, that after 17 months out of the team, mostly through injury. What a match to make a comeback in. And David Hay has recovered from a thigh injury. Arsenal still without McNabb, Ball, Rice and Nelson, and 18-year-old John Matthews continuing in the number 6 shirt. The referee, Pat Partridge of Bishop Auckland.
So Arsenal kick off, attacking the goal on the right. Red shirts with white sleeves and white shorts. Chelsea in an all-blue strip, but with the white stockings. And here's John Sissons for them. Gary Locke on the far side, trying to shrug his way past Liam Brady. Arsenal with a very good record against Chelsea. They've won the last 3 league encounters here. They really do seem to have a bit of a jinx on Chelsea. And indeed, Chelsea haven't beaten them in a league match, home or away, in the last 3 seasons. And I recall a couple of cup ties as well, where they've failed to win as well. Radford, but he's up there on his own. Kidd coming in support, Brady coming in support. Simpson. Kidd. Well, he spotted Story very well. Armstrong away on the touchline in the shade. Arsenal's throw. Story with the throw, and Radford coming to collect it. Gary Locke. A lot of space ahead of him. Garland, Cook and Hutchinson up ahead of him too. Cook making a run. Cook looking so alive and so alert, and a good pass there for Gary Locke. Chelsea thought that was a penalty, but in fact there was a collision there when Locke was drawing his foot back. It certainly wasn't an intentional trip. It certainly wasn't an intentional trip, but it could well have been fairly painful for Gary Locke. He pulled his foot back after that beautiful through ball from Charlie Cook. So many good seats here at Chelsea, so many good views of this game. This massive and impressive new stand. Gary Lock okay. Chelsea get a corner. John Sissons taking it. Again, curled in there. And again, Simpson right by that near post under pressure from Hutchinson. Forced to turn it away. So Peter Simpson saving the day at that post for Arsenal. All these corners looping in there every time, and that time it took the fists of Rimmer to get it away. Harris is in there. Houseman to Dempsey. Lock. Harris planting it forward again for Hutchinson, big and strong, and a good header of a ball there, finding Cook, and Cook was beaten away though by young Matthews. Chelsea's throw, and Chelsea at the moment looking pretty good. Well, a lot of people had a dabble at a long throw, but I think this was the man who really brought the long throw into the game with a vengeance. Ian Hutchinson. Great long throw there, causing Arsenal problems, and it was Charlie George back there in the 6-yard area who got it away. Sissons. And Simpson, well relieved to be able to turn that back to Rimmer. Sissons in a bit of bother. And so too is Eddie Kelly. Kidd planting it on, but I think certainly the trainers can't come on the field, of course. Garland. Houseman. Cook. My heavens, it's a long time since I've seen Charlie Cook playing with this sort of verve. Finding John Hollins now, lining up the shot, but it was charged down there again by John Matthews. Armstrong. Charlie George selling a nice dummy there on Hay, who bought it completely. Story for Radford. Harris behind him. Sissons taking it up. Garland. Cook. Hollins. The long cross from Hollins, and Rimmer beautifully collecting that. Free kick given. I often question those free kicks when they were so clearly in the hands of the goalkeeper. All it does is hold up the game, and it certainly doesn't create any advantage for Arsenal, which is what was intended. Here's Peter Houseman. Hay. Dempsey and Hollins. Sissons wanting the ball there inside, but it's switched beautifully by Hollins there for Garland. Oh, and what a save again by Rimmer. What a beautiful ball there by Johnny Hollins, and Garland taking it so well, and then Rimmer doing everything that was right for Arsenal. Radford a good jump. Dempsey just touching it off for Houseman. Story beating Sissons. Brian Kidd. All Kelly. Radford. Oh, good play there by Radford. Kidd has gone through. Radford with the shot, and Phillips just taking it from under the crossbar from John Radford. Kelly. Good bit of tackling back by Garland. But Harris then giving it to Charlie George. Harris again. This time deciding he's going to give it to Brady. And this is the pass now for Brian Kidd. Hollins is still attacking him. Oh, what a good shot there. And they were in terrible trouble as Kidd turned on that one, and Phillips couldn't hold it. Good play there by Brian Kidd. Lockley up. Short. Now played wide here towards Charlie George. Brady. Well, he'll get a shot in here, and a very good one, calling for a very good save by Phillips. Great shot there by Liam Brady. Phillips springing across his goal to keep it out. Now Cook for Chelsea. It's woken everybody up. And it might inspire Chelsea as well. There's his cross coming in. Hutchinson hoping to get on the end of it and failing by a matter of inches to do so. Such a long string of bad luck through his career at Chelsea. Scorer of 2 goals this season, on his way back. Radford for Arsenal. Story comfortably playing it back for Rimmer. So a free kick now to Arsenal. Blockley with the free kick then for Arsenal. Kidd over his own head. This must be it, surely. Charlie George is there and he's poked it wide. Oh, that really was a bad miss for Arsenal after Kidd had done so well. George would be annoyed with himself for that. Dempsey. Hutchinson. Garland. Kelly. Oh, I think if the referee had whistled not quite as quickly as that, I think he might even have decided that wasn't worth a free kick, because it was such a palpable dive by Eddie Kelly after he had been tripped. But I think he might have wanted to have taught him something of a lesson. But it was worth a free kick. Simpson. Kidd again trying to come away. Hay for Chelsea. Chance for a break now. Arsenal had planted a lot of men forward, and Hay breaking with great speed. Hutchinson up there with him. Cook is away on the far side. Taken nicely by Charlie Cook. Is it going to go in? No, it was headed against the crossbar by Blockley. What a remarkable breakout. Hay, who did a fantastic job there, timing his pass to Cook to perfection. Cook hitting it off Rimmer's body, and Blockley somehow getting it back to head it by way of the crossbar and behind. Playing it forward for Kidd, a little touch off which didn't look like reaching Brady. Hay. Sissons, back for Hay again. And that's not going to reach Sissons either. Kelly. Cook. Garland. Free kick. And he's going to get his name taken. Story protesting. But I think the name of Peter Simpson will go into the book. So long a straight man, and I think a very honest player, but referee Pat Partridge felt that was a totally unfair challenge on the Chelsea man. So Simpson will get booked. Arsenal with absolutely everybody back. But now here's Kidd. Hay. Harris. Hutchinson. Did well there, Hutchinson. Sissons curled in nicely there. Garland coming in. Couldn't make anything of it because Peter Simpson again is there for Arsenal. And Rimmer didn't take it out of play. Took it as far as the line and no further. Kidd. Now, can Armstrong get there? He can. Kelly playing it for Peter Simpson. The last couple of minutes of the first half now. Kidd. Oh, he's got past Hollins very well, Brian Kidd. The shot across the goal, no problems. Sissons now for Chelsea to David Hay. Charlie Cook. Hay. Dempsey. Garland. Oh, he's going to give that to Brady. So it's Liam Brady now for Arsenal. Garland coming back at him, and again, Story. Kidd taking a little push there from Harris. And Harris being called back by the referee. I don't think he would have been booked, except that he answered back. And I'm not at all sure that it was for the tackle. I think it was probably for something that Harris said to the referee when Pat Partridge said, "I want to talk to you." So that's the second name in the book. Ron Harris going in now with Peter Simpson. Arsenal's free kick, Jeff Blockley taking it. And the whistle goes for half-time. That's had a lot to offer in the first half, except for goals. Charlie Cook looking very sprightly, the number 9 going down there. And Jimmy Rimmer, who made one tremendous save from Chris Garland and had a bit of luck when Cook's shot went off Blockley onto the crossbar. But it all adds up to a goalless first half, but there's so much more to come on the big match today. But we leave you just for a couple of minutes at Stamford Bridge with a half-time score that reads Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0. We'll be right back.
Part 2 begins on the next minute of Tim, in other words, in about 45 seconds' time. That was a 30-second Q-pip.
Welcome back then to Stamford Bridge, where we had a goalless first half, but really with the enterprising play of both sides, the promise of some goals in the second half, which let's hope that materialises. Chelsea then, who will be kicking off, attacking the goal now to our right. Arsenal's goal tally really not all that impressive this season. 6 goals in 6 league games, and that includes a 4 against Manchester City, so they scored only 2 in the other 4. But in all honesty, they haven't looked too much like conceding very much this afternoon. Gary Locke with the long cross there towards Ian Hutchinson, and Eddie Kelly back over his own head to Brian Kidd, and now John Radford. Arsenal, who, as I said at the start, have got a good record here, but the last 3 games that they've all won here in the league at Stamford Bridge have all been down basically to goals scored by Ray Kennedy, who's now left, of course, for Liverpool. Story. Kidd is there. Radford hesitated for a moment, and Chelsea said thank you very much and planted it back now for John Phillips. Locke. Yes, a push in the back by John Matthews on Ian Hutchinson. Cook. Locke. Well, Pat Partridge saying that Liam Brady had used a knee on Locke there, right close by the touchline, so it's going to be a free kick to Chelsea. Which Charlie Cook will take. Dempsey has come up for it. It's a fair-looking cross as well. It was fisted away. Sissons now driving it in, and Hutchinson tried to get it in. It was headed away finally by Radford after being kicked off the line by Simpson. Well, Sissons' shot was deflected. Hutchinson, just as he was on the ground there, got a foot to it and couldn't quite push it over the line. Matthews. High towards Kidd. George. Bradford is there, flicked on again. Kidd accelerating well and got his shot in well. Kidd did extremely well there. I think Arsenal half thought they might have got a penalty as well. The ball hitting Dempsey on the handle. It quite clearly hit him. There was no intention on his part to handle. Now Cook. It'll need an extra special piece of Cook magic, I fancy, to open this Arsenal defence. There are so many of them back again. Either that or a glaring mistake in the Arsenal defence. Bob McNabb, the Arsenal injured fullback, was telling me before the game, I can't see us getting beaten, but here's Gary Locke. And this could be interesting. No, Locke doing so much so well. And really doing it all wrong in the end, with Hutchinson, Garland and Cook waiting for the slightest touchback. Here's Hollins. Free kick to Chelsea. Dempsey with the kick. Towards Charlie Cook. Simpson winning it. Garland picking it up. Shaken off several there, Garland. There's a shot and a good save again by Jimmy Rimmer, but what a good run by Garland. Must have gone past 4 Arsenal defenders to get that shot in. And Rimmer saving it. Hutchinson timing his jump and then losing the ball, hitting him on the back, so Peter Simpson comes away. Flick through to Kelly. Arsenal now sprung quite a few men forward. Charlie George here. Dempsey a header. Hollins playing it for Houseman. In turn for Garland. Garland again. Going hard at this Arsenal defence. Played on for David Hay. Hay leaving that nicely for Garland. Played on this time for Charlie Cook to take it up for Chelsea. Back for Ian Hutchinson. And a shot that, alas for Chelsea, didn't match the move that led to it. Dempsey's header. That was probably an offside decision, but it was a curious one to give, with Arsenal really in control there and in possession. And the referee is reaching for the book for the challenge, and he raised his foot there, in fact, as though Hutchinson was high with the tackle on young John Matthews. So Hutchinson's name goes in the book as well. That's the 3rd one to go in. And Sissons is also injured. And both trainers are now on the field. Charlie George finding George Armstrong. Now, can he get one of his pinpoint crosses in? He's gone past Sissons. There's the cross coming in. Kidd with a header! Saved under the bar there well by Phillips. Lovely little cross by George Armstrong. Good header by Kidd. And Phillips saving it. And now here's Sissons. Blockley's header. Away to Brady. Still got a feeling that goals could come at either end. Arsenal showing all their traditional knack of being able to soak up punishment and then coming out and threatening to make that one vital break. Armstrong again. Brady played off a very good ball there for Peter Storey. Kidd with the backward header. Charlie George hesitated there for a moment, but not there. Oh, what a good shot, and Dempsey, in fact, hitting that one over his own crossbar. Phillips was already going off there towards that top corner. Charlie George really let that one go. Off Dempsey, and now it's a corner. Chelsea had, I would have thought, the better of the first half, and the start of their second half as well, but Arsenal really, in the last quarter of an hour, begun to get a grip on this game, looking so good in defence and promising in attack. The feet of Blockley rather high there on Garland. I think it was Blockley's intention, and he's going to be booked for it, though. He doesn't know it because he's still attending Chris Garland, the number 5 there, but he's going to be booked. And now he does know it. So Jeff Blockley, I'm sure it was an instinctive reaction. He's saying the ball was coming over, ref, and I had to go for it, and I didn't know that Garland was going to get on the end of my boot. One of the traditional Chelsea supporters as well, a real old pensioner there. Hutchinson. Sissons. Cook again. Dancing and jinking and bobbing, and still that Arsenal defence won't be tempted, though. There's Hay putting it in. Sissons was in there too. Cook again, surrounded by red shirts. Hay playing it wide. And that really, in a nutshell, is Chelsea's afternoon. They've really been bombed out of this game by an excellent Arsenal defence, to the point where they began brightly and are now just a little bit confused and beginning to despair, as they should, with just a minute or so left, of finding any way past them. Well into the last minute of the game. In fact, the final whistle has gone, just a matter of a few seconds early, in fact. To me, the man who really has shone more than any other today, young John Matthews, 18 years old in this Arsenal defence, the number of times he came across to cut out dangerous Arsenal or dangerous Chelsea moves when Chelsea were coming forward. But Arsenal defence as a whole looks so solid and so reliable, finally, and in the end, beating Chelsea away, so that we come to a final scoreline at Stamford Bridge this afternoon in the sunshine, reading Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0.
Well, alas, no goals, but a lot of excitement, and welcome to our 2 studio guests who had quite a part in it. On the left there, Jimmy Rimmer of Arsenal, and on the right, Charlie Cook of Chelsea. Jimmy, I suppose you must be more satisfied than Charlie, being the away side and defending well. I thought the Arsenal defence really coped very well yesterday.
Yeah, we did quite well, Brian. They had most of the play first half, you know, and we contained them quite well. And we had a few good chances, I thought. I thought Phillips made a couple of good saves, you know.
But I think we should come straight away to the save that you made, which was really one of the high points of the first half, the save you made from Chris Garland. Let's have a look at that one now and tell us exactly how it happened. A good ball from Johnny Hollins here, isn't there?
Yeah, and I think young John Matthews thought he was offside there, you know. As he took it, I came out to narrow the angle there, and he just took it, I thought, a bit wide, so he gave me a chance to narrow, you know, to get further on top of him, you know, so I could, you know, knock it away.
So he narrowed the angle, made it a little... looks a bit upset there as well, doesn't he?
Yeah. You know, as I say, I thought he took it just that bit wider than, you know, to give me a chance to narrow the angle more.
Charlie, your contribution was, as one of the papers this morning described, as magical. And certainly you had some tremendous breaks from the middle of the field. And I want to show you one now where David Hay makes a tremendous run for you. You remember it?
I do, yes. In fact, I didn't realise, looking at it now, I didn't realise that David had covered as much ground as he did do. And that's from our own penalty area, almost to the Arsenal penalty area. And he plays it through, I thought...
You're onside there, although I think Jeff Blockley, the number 5, will...
I think I'm just on it, but in fact, The bigger worry to me was George Armstrong. I thought he had intercepted the ball, and then I thought he was behind me when I played it. And then the third point was Jeff getting it clear there. That was a bit disappointing.
There's an amazing parallel between the two of you, because I think 12 months ago most people have said, well, Jimmy Rimmer's down there at Swansea and Charlie Cook's in the reserves at Crystal Palace and you're just about finished now. Did you feel that, Charlie, yourself, that maybe the big time had passed you by now?
Well, I think you've got to be a realist in the game, and I think if it had continued the way it was going, there's no other way, but it had to be out of the game very, very soon.
So what in fact changed it? How much did you do to change it?
Well, I think, you know, again, trying to be a realist, you realise that your number is up if you don't do something about it. Pre-season in Hennef in Germany, we're getting the team together and so on. The club just bought John Sissons, and there's also an awful lot of other forwards vying for a place. And, you know, you're going to have to work very, very hard, which I think I have done recently.
You look fitter, if I may say so, and sharper than I've seen you for some time.
Well, you know, I'm playing probably lighter than I've played for 4 or 5 years. And when I talk about a couple of pounds to people, they laugh. But I think 2, 3, 4 pounds in my frame makes quite a big difference.
Jimmy, the same thing with you. When you went to Swansea, did you feel that that's, you know, the great days at Manchester United are over and it's the 4th division now for you?
Well, I did when I went, you know, and then I had a talk with Harry Gregg, who was manager of Swansea, and he said he'd get me back where I am now, you know, in the 1st division.
Well, he was a great goalkeeper himself, of course, with Manchester United. What did he do to you, in fact?
Well, he taught me a lot, you know, about goalkeeping itself. You know, I've learnt a lot off him. Mostly that he made me believe in myself, you know, that was good enough. That was the most thing, that's what he drilled into me, you know. Otherwise, it was, you know, he just said that I was good enough to be a 1st division goalie.
I think every Arsenal fan would approve of that now, the first month or so you've had this season. Yeah. I mean, they are delighted with you. They applaud you every time you come on. Yeah, but was there an incentive too, with all the talk that Peter Shilton might become an Arsenal player? Did that G you up even more? Yeah,
well, as I say, yeah, it does help, you know, if they're interested in other people like Peter Shilton. You've got to go out there and try your best, you know, and up to now it's been fantastic for me, you know.
So with the help of Harry Gregg at Swansea, do you feel now that you're a better goalkeeper than you've ever been?
Yeah, a lot better, you know. All round, sharper, everything, you know, fitter. I've really worked on my game.
Charlie, the situation now at Chelsea, the results haven't been as good this season as certainly Dave Sexton would have expected. How is your relationship now with Dave? I know that in the past the players have felt maybe that they have been a bit strained, but do you see a different Dave Sexton and a different Chelsea now from the old days? I
think it's true to say that Dave seems to be very, very relaxed this season. Dario Gradio is there helping him with the coaching and so on. I think this certainly takes a lot of strain from him, and I think it's there for everybody to see in Dave. I think he's a much more relaxed person. And I think it shows in the spirit that is in the club at the moment.
Do you see, in spite of the disappointing start, a better finish for Chelsea?
Well, you know, like Arsenal, we've been finding it difficult to get the right results at home. We've been getting encouraging results away from home, and you know, if you can just get these things going where it should be happening at home, you know, who's to say?
Do you feel equally optimistic? I mean, London, when you look at the 1st division table, Jim, it's frightening, really, to see so many London clubs near the bottom. Yeah. Do you feel as optimistic about Arsenal?
Yes, I think we can do better, a lot better. You know, we're at the moment, as you say, we've got Bob McNabb, Alan Ball, you know, Sammy Nelson, Pat Ricehouse. So it doesn't help you, you know, at this time of year, to, you know, you're just shuffling around to get places till they're fit again. You know, you play. You know, different positions. So I find out that we could do better, you know.
Well, I may say it's a delight to have the pair of you in, particularly when you consider that 12 months ago one could hardly have visualised that you were going to make such an impact on the London scene. Jimmy Rimmer of Arsenal, Charlie Cook of Chelsea, thanks very much both of you for coming in. Okay. Let's have a bit more action now and just a couple of quick incidents from the game between Newcastle United and Carlisle. It was covered by Tyne Tees Television. The commentator is our old friend Kenneth Wolstenholme. As we join it, there are just 2 minutes to go and the score stands at 0-0 with Newcastle in the stripes.
So here's Burns to Hibbett. Does MacDonald, Smith, Judah, score! By my watch, 2 minutes left, and Tudor, once again, showing himself the supreme opportunist as Jinky Smith put that ball in the middle. Tudor was there, always in the right place, at the right time, hitting it firmly into the back of the net to make up for all the ill luck he's had earlier in the match. Bowman to Acklemoyle. Terrible trouble in that defence again. The Newcastle players had seen the linesman's flag up for offside, but the referee hadn't blown his whistle, and that's what counts.
1-0 to Newcastle then. Now we come to your letters. Or at least it's a chance to put something right straight away for all Chelsea fans. Many of them reminded me yesterday, including the chairman Brian Mears, I should add, that we had promised to show their 1-1 draw with Middlesbrough in yesterday's On the Ball. But as I'm sure you realise, our attention was diverted by a certain Mr. Clough yesterday. But here are the goals from that game last week. Middlesbrough have the white band on their shirts.
Is that a goal? Yes, it is. And it's scored by Madron. Garland. Hutchinson falling for it. There's Hutchinson. Oh, he must do. And he has done.
Well, our next letter comes from Angela Johnson of Streatham, who obviously is a London-based Stoke City fan. She realises that Stoke will be facing Ajax of Amsterdam in the UEFA Cup this week. Now that Ajax have lost Johan Cruyff and Johan Neeskens, she says, how good are they? Well, they're still pretty good, Angela. They've won their first 3 games in the Dutch League this season, and this was one of them against NAC Breda, and Ajax here are in the dark shirts. They got away to a pretty good start here with quite a 3-goal spell in about 4 minutes. This was the first of them as that cross comes in. Willie Brokamp, a new signing of theirs, playing his first game for Ajax, putting them 1-0 into the lead. The cross coming from Wim Soerbier, one of 4 World Cup players still in this Ajax side. And there's Brokamp, who really has added a lot of strength to this Ajax side, putting them into the lead. Second goal, in fact, was scored by Gels. Some delicate play around the area again, and the header, although I think there are question marks there against the Breda defence, and I'm sure Stoke won't make the same sort of mistake again, at least one hopes they won't, when they come to face Ajax. The cross comes in, and a header there by Gels, and that's 2-0 to Ajax. Johnny Rep clearly is a fellow that they've got to watch out for, Stoke City, and Rep had a brilliant game here against Breda. He scored a fine goal here now as this ball comes through. Rep sets off in chase. Number 16, look at that run by him on the far side there. They just can't catch Johnny Rep, and a tremendously powerful shot to finish off. Look at that run by Rep, outstripping everybody. And this is 3-0 then to Ajax. That's how it stood until half-time. And early in the second half, Johnny Rep got into the action again. As this move goes down the right here, you'll see Rep again making one of his runs, leaving the defence. There he goes. And as the cross comes in, it's Hels again, who's already scored once, there with the header. But look at that NAC Breda defence. Really all over the place, and that is 4-0. But clearly men like Soerbier, like Hahn, like Kroll, and above all like this fella here, Johnny Rep, are players that Stoke must watch out for this week. 4-0 then to Ajax, and the last goal went to NAC Breda. Scored by Brouwers, but really no more than a consolation. There's Brouwers past Schrijvers, a Dutch international, the goalkeeper. Brouwers the scorer, but 4-1 to Ajax. Yes, plenty of goals there, and indeed there are plenty of goals in our last action today. It's as good as any that came out of the First Division yesterday, I fancy, and certainly as controversial. It was between Birmingham City and Derby County at St Andrews, a match that was covered by ATV, where the commentator is Hugh Johns. Birmingham are in the dark shirts.
Burns up. And France is trying it. He went solidly in then. It was Nish who got his boot in the way. Francis. He's away from him. Oh, yes! Beautifully done! Bob Hatton! 1-0! Into this first half, and Bob Hatton has got the goal, but Trevor Francis was coolness itself. Derby paid the penalty for not getting the ball away. Francis looked as though he might be on for a shot, but selflessly just knocked it in perfectly for Hatton to score the goal. This is Todd's free kick. Gemmell hoisting it high. Davis up. Styles away. Well, looked as though it came off Trevor Francis' head, but referee Nippard says no, it came off Nish. Gemmell is going to get booked because he disagreed with Mr. Nippard. Referee Nippard having given the free kick, the throw-in, I beg your pardon, the throw-in to Birmingham. Gemmell disagreed with him. And for that, he gets a booking. Well, that was a fairly clear indication of what might happen to Archie Gemmell the next time. There's a push in the back by Daniel again. That one on Francis. So we've now completed an hour of football, and the score is still 1-0 to Birmingham. Touch of the Marty Feldmans then from Ray Martin. Well, that looked again like pushing and pulling and shouldering in the box by Colin Todd, who rather fortunate, I think, in many respects, to get away with that one. Kendall, that goes for a corner. Kendall and Trevor Francis sorting out what they're going to do in this corner kick. Kendall down to take it. Kendall. Archie Gemmell away. Campbell brings it down. Not a bad ball out for Kendall. And again the cross. Far post. Bolton up. And it falls for Burns and then Campbell. Corner as the ball comes away off Campbell. Skids off a defender. Colin Bolton soon all right. He's a hard man, this. He's only missed 2 games, and those were through suspension in the last 3.5 years. Newton gets it away. That's handball. That's handball by Roger Davis. Well, what a foolish young man. There was no need for that at all. Roger Davis pulling the ball down with his hand, looking perplexed. But there was no doubt about it. Derby utterly disconsolate now as Trevor Francis places the ball on the spot. And we now look for Birmingham to take a 2-0 lead. Roger Davis still protesting his innocence. But meantime, Trevor Francis sets himself up. Francis against Bolton. 2-0. 19 minutes into the second half. Trevor Francis scores his 2nd penalty of the season. His 5th goal of the season. And Birmingham here are 2-0 ahead.
No signs yet then of Derby really getting to grips with this game, even though they're only playing against 10 men. Ken Burns. Styles. Francis, and he's clear. He ran well. He could be in for number 3. And the penalty's given against Daniel. The penalty's given against Daniel. Well, I must be honest, I didn't really think that rated it. Referee Nippard, adamant. Todd, incensed. Gemmell is over there as well. Bolton kicks the ball over the stand. Referee Nippard is not going to be moved. Second penalty of the afternoon. Trevor Francis tanking through. Looked as though he was on. Daniel made the tackle. Francis goes down. And the ball goes onto the spot now. So, Francis, his chance for a second penalty of the afternoon. He's done Bolton once, can he do it again? Yes! Francis, his second goal, Birmingham's third. Taylor being chased by Derby. Got about 5 of them over there. It's Hatton, and they've given offside against Francis, I think. Hatton and Francis together breaking, as Derby lost their composure completely and sent about 5 men after the one Birmingham player, Taylor. Webster now for Derby. Davis on for Hector, and it's Rioch. The goal is given, and Rioch makes it 3-1. Bruce Rioch scoring his first league goal of the season, although he's already scored one in the League Cup. 39 minutes. So
83 minutes, 60 seconds.
Latchford did well to come out and block the first shot, but as the ball goes up off his boot, Rioch, the easiest job in the world to knock it in. Derby needing 2 goals to get back. Nish. Davis. Gallagher right behind him. Good skills. Gemmell. He delayed it. Gemmell again. Davis. Davis. And he got it. Roger Davis makes it 3-2. That ball almost glued to his foot. So, 3 minutes left to play. And the game gets closer and closer. Now it's 3-2 to Birmingham. Roger Davis. It was the way little Archie Gemmell fought for the ball, knocked it through. The ball seemed to be tied to Roger Davis's boot as he charged forward and squeezes it inside the near post. Hatton is under this. The challenge from Webster. Taylor. Todd for Gemmell. Derby have got to get the ball up into this penalty area of Birmingham's. They've got plenty of bodies back to stop it. Styles knocking it away. 3 minutes of injury time gone. As Gemmell skips away from them. It's a free kick against Taylor for bringing down Gemmell. 3 minutes of injury time gone. 1 goal now separating these two sides. Derby desperate now, throwing everything forward, looking for the equaliser, having come back from 3-0 down to 3-2. Lee quickly then for Newton. Handball by Taylor. Right on the edge of the box. The linesman says it happened outside. Newton thought it happened inside. He was looking for the penalty. Rioch. 3-man wall is not 10 yards back yet.
Orthodox kick. Todd. Hine kicks it away. And there's the final whistle. It's all over.
Well, what a fine game it turned out to be then at St Andrews for all those Birmingham City fans. Birmingham now showing something of a recovery. 5 goals, and amongst them 2 penalties. And I think we ought to look just a little closer at the reasons why those 2 penalties were given. The first one, of course, was handball by Roger Davis, which looked so obvious in normal speed. A little less obvious now when we see it in slow motion. But I think the ball brushes against Roger's hand there. Probably slides down his arm, but indicates how dangerous it is for anybody to have their arms in the air in their own penalty area. Well, that was a penalty, and quite rightly given by Derek Nippard, the referee from Bournemouth. A little less obvious, I think, is this second one there, as Trevor Francis times that run superbly. Peter Daniels now, the Derby defender. Does he play the ball first, or does he play the man? I think he just nicks that ball away, and Trevor Francis makes a pretty good effort of a dive there. And I think that is a penalty that is much more questionable. I think I would agree with Hugh Johns, our commentator, who was on the spot there, and say that Birmingham were just a little bit fortunate to get that one. But, of course, refereeing and penalties and everything else in football is all a matter of opinion, and it's the referee's opinion that counts, and Derek Nippard is a good referee. And, of course, referees don't have the value of slow motion that we have. Well, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed the big match again today. But don't forget On the Ball, the programme that they're all talking about, in World of Sport next Saturday lunchtime. And then the big match next Sunday afternoon, where we shall have action from another 3 games for you to enjoy. That's at 2 o'clock. Well, no goals in our main match today. We don't care very much for that. But I think the reasons were fairly easy to spot, as we leave you now with just a few of those near misses from Stamford Bridge yesterday. And I think also a little tribute to 2 defenders. John Dempsey of Chelsea, back after a long layoff, and young John Matthews of Arsenal, who's going to be around for a long time to come.
Wanting the ball there inside, but it's switched beautifully by Hollins there for Garland. Oh, and what a save again by River. Well, you've got a shot in here, and a very good one. Peered over his own head. This must be it, surely. Charlie George is there, and he's poked it wide. Cook is away on the far side, taken nicely by Charlie Cook. Is it going to go in? No!